King's Fall made its debut into Destiny 2 this past Friday, and with it came 6 of the 9 legendary raid weapons from the original raid. These weapons come with completely random rolls, and the perk pool was revealed today. So with that, I wanted to go over the best rolls to go for on each weapon. I'd recommend staying for each weapon's roll, as these weapons have some of the most insane perk pools that I think any weapon in this game has. Before we hop into the video, I want to say that I am making a slight change for these videos. I usually make pictures for each column of a weapon, but since I find columns 1 and 2 to not be as important as columns 3 and 4, I will only cover columns 3 and 4. If you want to skip to a certain weapon, I'll leave the timestamp in the description below, so feel free to skip around. With that being said, let's get into it. I want to start with the Smite of Merain pulse rifle. This was one of my favorite weapons from the original King's Fall, so I'm sure you can understand my excitement to see it back in the game. Regarding the perks, this weapon has some insane perk combinations. In column 3, go for Pugilist, Demolitionist, Focus Fury, or Stats for All, and in column 4, go for Swashbuckler, Adrenaline Junkie, or One for All. Smite of Merain has access to some great synergetic perk combos like Stats for All, One for All combo, Demo and Adrenaline Junkie, and more, but one combo that I think is unique is the Focus Fury and One for All combo, which is double damage perks that can be procced on any enemy. Any of the rolls recommended will serve you well. Next up, let's cover the Doom of Chelchis. The Scout Rifle was also one of my favorite Scout Rifles from Destiny 1, being behind only the Burning Eye from Trials of Osiris. Interestingly enough, this weapon resides in the secondary slot, making it compete against other popular elemental Scout Rifles like Vouchsafe and Vision of Confluence. Similarly to the Smite of Merain, this weapon has some great perk combinations, especially for GMs. In column 3, go for Stats for All or Explosive Payload, and in column 4, go for Frenzy or One for All. I know this weapon rolls with some completely unique combinations like Firefly and Dragonfly, and while it's definitely a fun perk combination, I don't see it doing great in higher end content. Regardless, the Scout Rifle is definitely worth the pickup. Continuing on, we have the Zaouli's Bane hand cannon. This weapon underwent some changes just like the Doom of Chelchis and 2 other weapons that will be mentioned later on. It was moved into the secondary slot and had its RPM changed from what it was in Destiny 1, being 120 RPM to 140 RPM. Once again, alongside the Doom of Chelchis and Smite of Merain, this weapon has some great perks, not only for GMs but also for lower end content. In column 3, go for Explosive Payload, and in column 4, go for Firefly, One for All, or Incandescent. The Explosive Payload and Incandescent role has been a hot topic, especially over on Twitter, since it turns the Zaouli's Bane into a legendary Sunshot, which could make this weapon really fun. We now move on to the special weapon, starting with the Defiance of Yasmin. Defiance of Yasmin is one of 2 weapons that I mentioned previously that will also make this list of weapon changes, with this weapon being moved to the primary slot rather than staying in the secondary slot. This weapon does have great perks as well for both PvE and PvP. For PvE, go for Lead from Gold in column 3 and go for Firing Line in column 4. If you want a great PvP sniper, then go for Snapshot in column 3 and Moving Target or Opening Shot in column 4. This sniper proves to be great in all aspects of the game and thanks to its perk pool, which is always great to see. The next weapon to mention is the Midha's Reckoning, which is the fusion rifle from this raid. This weapon was one I didn't see myself using much until I heard of a certain interaction between one perk in column 4 and the Origin trait. In column 3, go for Field Prep or Unrelenting, and in column 4, go for Reservoir Burst. If you reload near a group of teammates, you can get Reservoir Burst to proc up to 6 times in one magazine, making this weapon a monster for ad clear. Due to that, I will be grinding out a god roll for this weapon, and you should too. The final weapon to cover on this list is the Qullim's Terminus. This was one of my favorite LMGs from Destiny 1, and I'm glad to see that it is back with some solid perk options. It is also the second weapon to have an interesting change done to it, as it went from Solar to Stasis. Regarding perks, go for Unrelenting or Stats for All in column 3, and in column 4, go for Headstone or Firing Line. Unrelenting and Headstone can prove to be great for Stasis builds, and Stats for All and Firing Line can be great for GM content. That's going to wrap it up for this video. If you found this video helpful, consider dropping a like and subscribing for more Destiny content dropping every week. I'm considering making separate videos for each weapon to compare them to other popular options to see how good they hold up against them, so if you're interested in that, be sure to let me know. Finally, follow me on all of my social media platforms linked in the description below. With that being said, I'm SniperKH, and I'm out. Good luck with gaming.